Hey guys, this is Ponce here to talk to you about Zack, the secret weapon, which was his abilities and all that stuff were just revealed on the official League of Legends website, leagueoflegends.com. You can go there to check it out. He is not currently on the public test realm. That's one of the things I want to let you guys know. As soon as he's available, I'll make new videos of that, highlighting what the abilities actually do and full gameplay videos and stuff like that. So if that's what you're looking for, when it's actually out, I will update this video with annotations in the top right hand corner over here. Those will link to my new videos. So if you're watching this at a future date, yeah, that's probably what you want to see. But for now, basically, I just want to kind of talk about what his abilities are and what I think about them. Since for whatever reason, all this stuff has been revealed before the public test round, which is kind of unusual. Um, but yeah, let's get right into this. You're gonna, of course, read this stuff for yourself um, on LeagueOfLegends.com. Here we go. His passive is Cell Division. When any of Zack's abilities hit an enemy, a piece of him falls to the ground. Zack can pick up fallen pieces to recover health. When Zack dies, he splits into 4 blobs. These fragments will attempt to reform over a short duration. If any survive, Zack revives with a percentage of his maximum health based on the number of remaining blobs. I'm going to read over everything, then I'll discuss everything in turn. No, why don't we discuss Cell Division? Nope, change my mind. Let's go Stretching Strike. This will be his Q most likely. Zack throws a two-handed punch that deals damage and slows targets in a line. Uh, Unstable Matter, most likely his W. Zack's body explodes outward, dealing flat damage to surrounding enemies. Enemies struck also take damage based on their maximum health. Most likely E, Elastic Slingshot. Zack immobilizes as he charges up a dash towards the target location. The range of Elastic Slingshot increases up to a cap as Zack charges the ability. Zack then fires himself towards the target location, damaging and stunning all nearby enemies upon landing. Let's Bounce, most likely his R, the ultimate. Zack bounces into the air, immediately knocking up, slowing, and damaging nearby enemies. Once airborne, he bounces 3 times, dealing damage with each impact. Um, Basic initial impression is this sounds a lot like Vi in sort of a weird way. I'm more basically slightly less. I can assassinate people from the backline with my ult. Um, and more kind of tanky, disruptive. I'm going to be annoying, but basically have a similar function to Vi, with maybe sort of hints of Jarvan and maybe even Mundo thrown into the mix. Basically, let's start talking about her Cell Division. Of course, this is all me basing this information just off what I'm reading here. I don't have the numbers. I don't know exactly what they do, but I kind of have an idea of how he's going to play. I think. Passive is basically, yes, every time you use an ability, like a piece of him falls off and you can sustain yourself through that. That sounds pretty good. Like without that, it doesn't sound like his kit would be particularly viable top lane, but having that kind of sustain might be useful. I mean, it depends on the exact figures. The more interesting part, in my opinion, is the fragment part. It's basically he has a conditional guardian angel where if his fragments don't get killed, he comes back to life. Of course, it depends on the exact figures, but that sounds really good. His passive alone, just because I think people overvalue, like I'm not a huge Guardian Angel fan. I know it's good, really good in certain situations, but people tend to overvalue just how good Guardian Angel is, which indicates to me that this is either going to have huge limitations on it, it's going to be really hard to revive, or his other abilities are going to be kind of scaled back to compensate for the fact that he has a free Guardian Angel. It's good. I don't think it's as good as most people are going to read into this passive. I think it's going to be fairly limited, but interesting in certain situations. Stretching Strike, that just sounds like a basic line nuke. In combination with Elastic Shot, that's what's giving me this really big Vi feel. Now, like basically everything in her kit is somewhat has something of an analog in Vi's kit. Unstable Matter, for example, that's percent shred. It's basically an AoE based on their maximum health, not current health, so it never gets weaker. It's always going to be a flat thing, which is really interesting. An AoE health shred. Basically, anything that can deal percent damage is always really, really good. Unless the numbers are really low, basically skills like this allow a champion to build tanky and build just tanky. You can almost ignore damage. It kind of sounds like this champion's going to scale off probably AP, possibly health maybe. I don't think he's going to scale off AD, though it's possible. So probably the way you'll end up building him, my guess, is going to be tanky AP or just pure tank, one or the other. And unstable matter is always going to be really good. Unless, of course, yeah, it's a very low percentage. My guess is for sake of balance, it's going to be flat damage with a percentage added onto it, but you know, you never know. So of course you notice Vi has percent damage. Jarvan has some percent damage. You know, champions like that can what's her name? Elise has percent damage. Champions like that can build tanky and still do decently. Um, so yeah, that's that. Elastic slingshot, not much to say about that. Again, it's kind of he feels very Vi like. Although Vi can keep moving, he actually stops to charge. Um, from the way it's reading, it sounds like he won't get stopped like Vi will though, because he has to stop moving. So once he charges up, he'll probably just like slam through everything or go over everything. Probably go over everything and then land. So stuff can't get in his way. It'll be an excellent probably get out of a gank tool. Let it bounce. That sounds like a fairly sort of generic AoE CC damagey thing. The damage probably won't be too high. I'm assuming it's just because it has a knock up. Yeah, the damage can't be too high. The other thing from reading this stuff down here, this is not too important. You can read this on your own. This is what Riot has to say about the champion. It's going to be he's going to be a manaless champion. That's the main thing I'm taking away from this whole thing. So you don't need to worry about that. I think his kit looks on paper ridiculously good, or at least what the abilities do. So basically, the numbers are probably going to have to be fairly low or have really high cooldowns or something. Otherwise, he'll be overpowered. That's just my take on it. I say that pretty definitively, but yeah, he's going to be overpowered. I should put a question mark at the end of that. So yeah, he's got potential, and it's mainly this max health thing. I keep harping on this, but anytime a champion has maximum, does a percent of health damage, that just red flags go off. And I says, okay, this is a tanky champion. You just build him tanky, ignore everything else. So yeah, that's really all I have to say on the matter. Like I said, come back later when he's actually up on the public test ROM. I don't know when that'll be. There's a very slight chance it'll be tonight, Friday, March the 15th. I doubt it because they don't really release new public test ROM content right before or on the weekend, from my experience. Monday is a live server patch, and they don't usually patch both live and PBE at the same time, from my experience again. So my guess would be he's going to be available on Tuesday, probably with a Karma rework, because the AMA for the Karma rework is on Monday. So probably next week at the very, if not Tuesday. Yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this informative, and look forward to bringing you guys more concrete information on what he does exactly. So see you guys around.